Good morning, good afternoon, wherever you might be. Welcome to LinkedIn Live, the May edition with Steve White. Well, if you were around last week, we had a few technical difficulties, but guess what? Life is full of challenges and we have to work through them. We have to be creative, and that's what we've been able to do. So welcome to the May edition of LinkedIn Live with Steve White. I'm so honored to be here with you. Thank you for joining us. And if you miss any parts of this, we're going to replay several episodes. So why do we do this? And why do I do it? We talk a lot about living your purpose. One of my favorite quotes is by Mark Twain. The two most important days in your life is the day you're born. The second is when you know why. Well, I truly believe the reason I was placed on this earth was to create a table of prosperity for as many people as possible. Because most of you know my story, very humble beginnings, a lot of hand-ups, not handouts, but a lot of hand-ups that allowed me to reach a certain level of success. And so I truly feel part of my responsibility is to help others. And doing this monthly LinkedIn Live is one small way to try to create an environment and an atmosphere where we can share lessons learned, the good and the bad, that'll help you reach your full potential. So that's why we're here. That's why we're doing it. We do it every month. We usually do it the first week of every month, but you know about the technical difficulties from last week. So thank you for joining the May edition of LinkedIn Live with Steve White. First of all, let me just say thank you for all of you who follow me on social media, particularly on Facebook and LinkedIn. Thank you. Thank you to all of you that have signed up for the newsletter. Hopefully you're enjoying it and you're finding it blesses you and you're benefiting from it. Thank you for all of you that go to the website. We get a large number of regular visitors to our website, stevewhitespeaks.com. So thank you. Thank you to all of you that have purchased my book, Uncompromising, that we released last March. It's done very well. So thank you for all of you that have supported me in this journey of trying to create this table of prosperity for as many people as possible. And if you would like to get the newsletter and you're not getting it, please go to my website, stevewhitespeaks.com. All of the information is there on my social media handle, how to sign up for the newsletter. You can go back and look at tapes of my past appearances on podcasts and other speaking engagements. I really hope you'll find that it's a place where you can go and kind of hang out. And one of the things that you'll see on the website, I'm really excited about this new video series. I partnered with a group called Right Now Media. They've developed an 8-part series on the book Uncompromising, really talking about how you find your purpose and fight, and then how do you live it? How do you live a life of success, impact, and in legacy? So hopefully you'll enjoy that. So go to the website, stevewhitespeaks.com, and you can find out all the information that you need. So let's get into May. We're into May, it's spring. My allergies are going crazy, but it's a wonderful time of the year. And it's always a good time, particularly as the seasons change, to step back, reflect, see where you are on your journey. And so today's focus is if you're truly living your purpose and why. That's always the first step. Why have you been placed on this earth? And I talk a lot about, if you're not sure, start with 3 questions because I believe it'll help. Number 1, what are you really good at? Number 2, what are you passionate about? So much so, number 3, you would do it for free. If you start with those 3 questions, I believe it'll start to give you some answers and start helping you connect the dots on why you've been placed on this earth. And once you determine that, now how do you go through life, which is full of distractions, full of obstacles? How do you go through life and stay focused on the real prize? Not some artificial prize, not some short-term gratification, but what I'm talking about, living a life of impact, requires a level of discipline, focus, and staying focused on the real prize. And that's what we're going to focus on today. Because guess what? Life is full of mistakes. Life is full of challenges. Life is full of obstacles. We all will get off course at some point. So don't beat yourself up because it will happen. But here's the difference. The men and women that truly live an impact, a life of impact and legacy and success, it's not that they go error-free. It's not that they don't make mistakes, because they do. I certainly have. But they don't make the same mistake over and over again. Let me say that again, because that's a good place for an applause or an amen, or somebody give me an amen out there, is not this ability to make mistakes that creates the problem. It's our ability to not make the same mistake over and over again. Learn from each journey, because you're never losing. You're always learning or winning. And so if you look at every episode in your life as a learning opportunity, that will allow you to move forward. So no time to waste. Let's talk about the 3 biggest obstacles that keep us from reaching our full potential and living a life of impact. Number 1, identify your sideshows. And these are distractions. This is the shiny object says, look over here, but don't look over here. So identify your sideshows become really critical. Let me tell you about my biggest sideshow that I had to wrestle with and deal with. I was so focused on what others thought about my journey. Was I living something that they would approve of? So as I got more in touch with why I was placed on this earth, I made some decisions that were in support of my purpose and my fight, and I received criticism for people that I thought were supporting me, but I had to stay focused on my purpose and not get sidetracked by these sideshows. So whatever your sideshow is, I love sports, so I have to, if I've got a major project, I'll get it done before I'll go watch the ball game or go to a game or go play golf or whatever sport I really want to get into. So the most important thing for me was identifying that I was caring too much what others thought. And so therefore I was making decisions early in my life and early in my career that I thought might please others. And as soon as I identified that sideshow, dealt with it, it allowed me to really explode and focus on my purpose and my journey of where I wanted to go. I remember when I first started sharing with folks that I wanted to write a book, I heard all the challenges of writing a book, why it's so difficult. Do you know 98% of books don't even sell more than 2,000 copies? So I heard all of that. But I felt that if I wrote a book and it impacted one person, it was worth it because it was in support of my journey of creating a table of prosperity for others. So identify your sideshows, identify the things that might get you off track as you go forward. Address those, write them down if you have to, deal with them, because once you deal with that, that will allow you to lead your best life. So identify your sideshows as number 1. Number 2, have a good chip on your shoulder. Now, if you look in the dictionary, a chip on your shoulder is something that somebody's angry or they're mad or they're frustrated. Let's turn that into a positive thing. As you go forward, remember, this is a good chip on your shoulder. So as you hear people telling you what you can't do and why you shouldn't do this, keep thinking about this chip on your shoulder. And as you run into obstacles, as you run into challenges, remind yourself that you can do this. You can make it happen. Well, will there be bumps in the road? Absolutely. Will it seem dark at times? Absolutely. But you have to have something inside of you, something sitting on your shoulder saying you can do it. You can reach your potential. Based on my humble beginnings, who would have thought that I could rise to the highest levels of a major company like Comcast, that I could go make a big difference in the lives of others. Who would have ever thought that? But not losing sight of that focus and keeping that good chip on your shoulder is absolutely critical if you're going to move forward. So number one, identify your sideshows. Number two, make sure there's a good chip on your shoulder as you move forward. And number three, and this is very, very important, create this environment that truly supports your fight as you move forward. How do you think about moving forward by creating an environment that makes the biggest difference in supporting your fight? You want men and women around you. I call it my kitchen cabinet. You want men and women around you that are supporting your fight, that believe in your fight, that pour into you in a very, very positive way. Very, very important as you move forward. So as we wrap up, 3 major obstacles as you support your fight. Identify those sideshows, have a good chip on your shoulder, and create an environment of men and women, I call it my kitchen cabinet, that truly supports your fight. Because in my book, also, I talk about there's only 2 things you can control in your life: your effort and your attitude. And if you focus on these 3 things, let everything else go, because you have no control over it. Identify your sideshows, have a good chip on your shoulder, and create an environment that truly supports your fight. So as we wrap up, thank you for joining the May edition of LinkedIn Live with Steve White. Thank you again for all of the men and women that have supported the book, the website, the social media, and all of the other things. Thank you, thank you, thank you very much. As we move forward, you hear bells in the room, but let's not get distracted. Let's stay focused on the real prize as we move forward. Go to my website. Check it out. You can get all the information on my new video series on Right Now Media, and we're doing a fantastic drawing that I think you'll be really excited about. So thank you again for joining the May edition of LinkedIn Live with Steve White.